Hi everyone, George DeCosta from the Hunting Griff. This is our Force Fetch third video. I hope you enjoyed the first two. Today we're going to go over the next step, and I'm going to do a lot of explanation on this step. We've been working with CK this week. It's been kind of hard. We're snowed in here in Idaho. And there's been a few times that he's spit it out, which is going to happen, and all I did at that point in time is grabbed him, squeezed him, told him to hold and put it back in. Look, he wants to hold my hand. Good boy, good boy. Go to sit. So we're going to go to the next step, and let me talk to you a little bit about the next step. By this time, you should have the pup holding whatever you put in its mouth, and I like to give good treats if I can. This is leftover steak from last night. CK, hold. Hold. Good boy. Good boy. CK, give. Good boy. I always give a treat at the delivery because I want that to be positive. So the next step is to get the dog to know it needs to take the item, whatever the item will be. I'm going to go over a lot of different ways to do it. This is where Force Fetch can get a little painful on the dog, and some people just go straight to the pain aspect of it and do the pain all the way at the top. I like to use as little as uncomfortableness as possible. So I'm going to talk to you about the steps right now. What you're going to do is you're going to create some uncomfortableness in the dog until it takes the item, and then the uncomfortableness is going to go away. And I've seen a lot of guys do a lot of different things. I'm just going to show you some techniques right now. One of them is you hold the dog up like this. Hold the dog up with a collar, so you can even use a pinch collar. Say hold, and then release it. Hold. Good boy. Give. Good boy, CK. Good boy. Good boy. So that's one way. And if the dog starts to drop it, you pick it up. When the dog does drop it, you pick it up with either pinch collar or a collar like this. This is a slip lead, sorry. And then what you're doing is you're making that dog feel uncomfortable until it gets the item in its mouth. That's teaching it to take the item. You saw that he almost took it that time. So I'm going to go through another one, and I'm going to go through all of them and go all the way up. Okay, sweetie pie. I'm going to go through all of them and go all the way up. Not all of them, all the ones that I know. So a couple different things is, I'm not going to do it to CK, but taking the ear and massaging it. Like if somebody was to grab you, we'll say right here, just kind of massage you, pinch you just a little bit, and make you feel uncomfortable like they're pinching you. Go, oh, stop that. So it's kind of like a throb, bump, 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 bump. And when the dog takes the item, you stop the throb. So you're getting the dog to want to stop that throb. Another one is to take the dog's ear and just put it against the collar. And I use gentle as possible. I'll just squeeze it. Again, I'll use this terminology. It's like somebody grabbing you by the shoulder and squeezing you right here. And at some point you go, just knock that off. Doesn't hurt, it's just uncomfortable. As you squeeze, you put the item in the dog's mouth, you let go of the squeeze. Sooner or later that dog will start taking the item, no problem, because it wants that uncomfortableness. That's basically the three that I use. Did I use three? Yeah, three that I use: the throb, the leash, or the ear on the collar. Very gently, very gently. You can go up from there. The old Coda, sit down. Sit, good girl. The old ways they used to do it, and some people still do, is they'll take a bottle cap and they'll turn it under the ear. They'll use the sharp edge of the bottle cap as a pain. They'll use a tie on the toe, and they'll pull the toe hard as they put it in. They will take the ear where it's very tender up inside, and they'll pinch that ear hard. The dog will actually whine, and they'll put it in. I find that the least amount of uncomfortableness, the better. You don't even have to go to pain. On most dogs. There are some dogs that I will say that you have to adjust to, and they will not take that item, and at some point in time, if you're going to force fetch the dog, you got to go up that ladder. So, having said that, there's one other one that I want to touch on, and that's using a knee collar. Now, I'm not going to get way into a knee collar, but I'm going to tell you that I think a knee collar can be the most humane way to teach a dog some commands, and when it's way out in the field, and it can be the most inhumane tool to use. Just like a firearm or a gun. Used correctly, it can be a great tool and a lot of fun. Used incorrectly, it can cause damage and death. Same thing as a car. Used correctly, it can help you out. Used incorrectly, it can kill somebody. Same thing with an e-collar. I can go through a lot of examples. When I use an e-collar, I put it on the dog and I turn it down as low as possible. And I only want the dog to feel uncomfortable. So I turn it up as the dog's walking around till I see a little turn of the head. And again, that's like that pinch. What is that feeling? And that's what I use to train the dog. So if I was using an e-collar and I had to put that on my steps, I would turn the e-collar to where the dog just feels uncomfortable, and then I would press the e-collar, put the item in its mouth, turn the e-collar off. Okay? I won't go into the e-collar training a lot here, but just to let you know, I do use an e-collar. That's the way I use it. Very low. You can put it on my hand and it doesn't bother me. When I do clinics, I actually let people hold my e-collar that's on my dog. Take it off. So, okay, enough about e-collars. Coda, I know you're a good girl. Coda, sit. Sit. Okay. So, with CK today, CK, come. Up. CK, come. Good boy. We're going to do a couple of them. You just saw me do the one where he took it by taking this up. What we're going to do on this one right now is I'm going to use the throb on the ear. I'm just going to massage it. CK, hold, hold, and then I'm going to let go. If he drops it, I could go back to him and say, good boy, good boy, good boy. Give, good boy. Go to hold, hold. So that was just a little throb. You can see it wasn't too uncomfortable. Give, good girl. So this next one will be, all I'm going to do is hold his ear right here, and I'm just going to kind of just squeeze it. Again, just enough to make you like somebody squeezing right here, just a little bit. And I'm going to take an item, and I'm going to do the same thing. You don't hear him scream or anything. I'm going to go hold, hold, and I'm going to release the pressure. Good boy. Give, hold. I'm going to do it again. Good boy. Good boy. Give. Good boy. Go to hold. Ah, Mama, she knows how to do it. That's what I do on this step. I'm getting the dog to want to take that item and turn off whatever that uncomfortableness is. And sooner or later, the dog will just want to take the item. And that's the part of force fetch later on when you find what works for your dog as you start healing your dog and letting your dog come to you with the item. When it drops the item, then you go to whatever it was that was uncomfortable for that dog to take the item. Give. So one last time. This time I'm going to use the collar. Get, hold, hold. Good boy. Now if he dropped it, I'd pull the collar back up. That's a good boy, CK. Good boy. CK 7 months old. Give. Good boy. And that's the next step. Using something uncomfortable to the dog to make them take the item. When the item is in their mouth, they become very comfortable. If they drop the item, you make them uncomfortable again. Alrighty? Well, I hope you enjoyed the video and it made sense to you. Thanks for watching.